and was pinned by Brother Nero, Jeff Hardy for the 1-2-3. Again, it was a great matchup, though. Ended with the Hardys and Sheamus and Cesaro shaking, but you can kind of also see on Matt Hardy's face, he's just kind of like, not exactly sure. He trusts Cesaro, but Sheamus is like, I don't know. He just really doesn't seem to fully have, the full trust of Sheamus. And honestly, can you blame him? And plus, he's broken Matt Hardy, so he's always thinking about something crazy. We get into another backstage segment, and they're just about to talk about, the condition of Golden Truth, as well as Kalisto, and then we see Heath Slater and Rhino saying, like, hey, what's going on? I was one of those guys who didn't even get drafted, and I ended up being a tag team champion, got an above-ground pool, and, talking about, basically just all the success they're doing. But then Braun Strowman passes by, and Dougie. This goes into the main event. Big Show versus Braun Strowman. Oh boy. Again, they just stole the show. They really created something memorable last time. I think that was maybe 2 weeks before Fastlane, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it was probably 2 weeks before, because I think the week before was the whole Braun Strowman Roman Reigns contract signing, if I'm not mistaken, which was an interesting segment, to say the least. But, the matchup itself was probably not as good as the first one around, but they still made some memorable moments. And the biggest memorable moment, doggy. Big Show on the top rope, Braun Strowman, superplexing Big Show, and the ring just... This is not even a thing where it's like, the ring collapsed. It just caved in. It literally looks like it was just bombed. It was just insane how that happened. And honestly, Mark Carrano, I think I might be getting the name wrong, but I think it might actually be Mark Carrano. Mark Carrano's he's the guy from Talent Relations, I think. But the one referee, I can't remember his name. It's Mark something. It's Mark something. I can't remember his name. He took a nasty bump when that ring imploded. I mean, I even looked at it. I think he almost landed on either his head, or he landed on his side or his back. It literally looked like he took a nasty bump there. I was like, oh my gosh. Big Show and Braun just destroy the ring with that superplex, and then Braun Strowman gets up like nothing. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? This is definitely, again, the best way that you can build up a beast and a mammoth like Braun Strowman. And the fact that he is going into the matchup with Roman Reigns with that kind of momentum, that definitely tells you that this is going to be insane. It is going to be just flat out, oh my gosh, it's going to be great. So, for all the people that voted on thumbs up or thumbs down for Monday Night Raw, looks, oh wow, I just, you know what? I think we've got a couple more minutes. Right now, it looks like Monday Night Raw is definitely going to be getting a thumbs up from what my poll is. For so far, the 14 people that have voted, 71% have said thumbs up and 29% have said thumbs down. I also wanted to bring up the poll that I had a week ago when they did the Superstar Shakeup, because it was very interesting. Here we go. As far as what people thought of the shakeup, 75 people voted. The final results were 16% thought it was effing awesome. 27% thought that it was okay, but a majority, 57%, thought that it sucked. Now, I think a lot of people just have different tastes when it comes to the whole Superstar shakeup and the whole draft situation. There were a lot of people that didn't like the fact that, people were just showing up on Monday Night Raw or showing up on SmackDown Live, and it seemed like, for no reason whatsoever. With Jack Swagger, I think it made quite a bit of sense where, his contract was up, so he went on over to SmackDown Live, negotiated something with them. That actually did make a little bit of sense. I think they really just wanted to do this just to kind of shake again, it's a Superstar shakeup, so I don't know if they wanted to just make it something that, really was going to make TV more compelling. I don't know why. I honestly thought that they were just going to hold off until the draft in like June or July. I don't know if I don't think they're going to do it now, because if they've done the Superstar Shakeup, they're not going to do something like that again. They could still do like trades and stuff, but they're probably not going to do anything like, major, like an event like another draft thing like they did last time. So, I don't know. We'll just kind of have to wait and see. But also, on a sad note, Revival is going to be out for a little bit of a while. Scott Dawson actually suffered, I believe it was a fractured jaw, so he's going to be out for a few months, which means that Dash Wilder is more than likely not going to be there as well. I have to double check to make sure that I had to make sure that it was Scott Dawson. I think it was Scott Dawson for what I remember, and I believe it was indeed some kind of it was some kind of jaw injury, if I remember correctly. So hopefully we'll get a chance to see Scott Dawson and Dash Wilder back in the title picture in the near future. I am looking forward to the idea of having the Revival against the Club, the Revival against the Hardys. Oh gosh, that would be amazing. Just those two matches alone definitely would showcase the Revival in such a major way. All right, so from there, like I said, Monday Night Raw was very interesting, and it was I would definitely give it a thumbs up. I'm part of that 71%. I'll get the final results in just a bit. One piece of evidence that I thought, one thing that I thought was actually very interesting was a lot of things that have been going on with Lana and Rusev these past few days. Rusev has actually, we now know kind of like the date in which Rusev is probably going to be coming back. Not the exact date, but at least a time frame, I should say. Sorry. Lana reported that he's probably going to come back within 2 to 4 months. So more than likely, he might be back just in time for SummerSlam, if I'm not mistaken. So that would actually be really good. Right now, and it actually made more sense when you thought about it, because he had to go through shoulder surgery. One of the reasons probably why Big Show thrashed him at Fastlane was because, it's very interesting that they did that, because a lot of people were probably thinking, like, oh, he got buried. He didn't get buried. He just got taken off of TV for a specific reason. And I think the fact that they did it in that way was like, oh wow, they're going back to like actual like WWE deal that they did a long time ago. So kind of cool to see that. But another interesting deal that involved Lana was that she was involved in a interesting situation, to say the least. I guess she was violated at an airport deal. Violated at an airport in, I think it was in Massachusetts, in Boston, Massachusetts, I believe. She said that she's never been so violated, and it was almost like sexual assault, something like that. But she never really gave away too much of the details. And of course, the airlines, full on, they apologized, and they said, hey, if you have any complaints, put your comments right here. Basically, like that basic comic bullshit of, oh, well, do you have a problem? Well, here, just look at this website and, give us some feedback, let us know this, and blah, 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 blah. Kind of like the same thing I went through with Sling TV, where it was just like, oh, you're having problems here? Well, look up this site right here and let us know with your feedback and blah, 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 blah. It's like, just shut up. You guys suck. I mean, honestly, it was one of those things where it's like, seriously, just shut the hell up. I mean, you should at least have it done, and you should at least know what you're doing by now, because you probably had already these complaints, at least for the past few months. So, but I mean, for Lana to go through that, it's really sad to see that, because Lana is definitely very talented. She's very gifted. She's very beautiful, and the fact that there was somebody that definitely gave her a bit of a rough time, which it sounds like a haha deal, but for me, it's like anytime that somebody talks about assault, I don't take that as a grain of salt. I actually take that very seriously. So the fact that they did that, not cool at all. But it's hard to really get fully behind it when you don't have all the details. So that's my thoughts on, the whole thing with Lana. So I'm sure that, Max and Spencer are probably going to talk a little bit more about that tomorrow. But we'll see. So closing off the show, I wanted to talk a little bit about WPW Boiling Point, which was a phenomenal show. It was really good. We always talk about hashtag support indie wrestling because that's where everybody has come from. That's where everybody gets their start when they are trying to become, superstars, whether that be in WWE, TNA, IWC. That doesn't really matter. Just, anytime they want to get into the pro deal, independent scenes are always where it first starts. And Wisconsin Pro Wrestling is just one of the best promotions in the state to date. And honestly, with all the matches that happened, it was really good. Kind of going to go through like some of the brief things of what happened. We kicked off with Colin Brooks defeating Adam Grace for the title in a matter of minutes. And the reaction that everybody had was just genuine. It was amazing. He had his family, he had his friends there. It was just a great moment for him. I couldn't be any more happier for him. We had a matchup between Logan Lynch and Chris Logan, in which Logan Lynch won. And I want to say this, that this Chris Logan guy was very interactive with me throughout the matchup, and even before the match, after the match, it was just flat out awesome. I mean, honestly, there came a point where he just trash talking me. He was getting all up in my face. As soon as I stood up, he walked away. It was like, yep, that's what I kind of figured. And at the end when he lost, I just remember he again looked right at me and he just pointed directly at me. And it's one of those things where it's like, well, they're coming back for a show in Stevens Point in December. I'll be here. There's no need for any hesitation. I mean, if anybody's gonna be there, it's like, no, I'll be there, and I'll be ready to go, just in case. We'll have to wait and see. So, the tag team title matchup in which we saw Real Love defeat the team of E&I. It was a very good matchup, and I would like to also say Porn Stash again, just showing again why he's just an amazing wrestler and competing with a bad, I think it was either his forearm was definitely messed up, and I kind of talked to him a little bit about it. It's one of those things where it's like you do feel for the people that are dealing with those kind of injuries because they have to work that much harder and they are just fighting through the pain. They're fighting through so much. He definitely did a great job. Him and TW3 are just an amazing tag team. I loved watching this matchup. But in the end, we saw Brock Hall and I'm trying to remember who the other guy was. He called himself the Gay Bar Superstar. It was a very interesting gimmick, to say the least. And there were, of course, chants of course, Brock Hall, who has been known in the past as, Brock Hardy, got so many chants of, obsolete and delete, and it was just awesome. Loved it. Joey Avalon versus Ben McCoy was just great. The way that it ended with Ben McCoy, if I'm not mistaken, it was either a pile driver or a package pile driver on a steel chair. That just looked brutal. And Ben just looked absolutely amazing, but he also looked like he might have gotten actually hurt during that deal. So, kind of interesting. I don't know exactly what actually all went down, but I know Ben's wife, who was the ring announcer, definitely showed no ill will. I mean, she mentioned Joey, but not by his name. He said, that guy, or I even helped her out. I said, what's his face? What's his face? Understandably so. So, this matchup here, the Fatal 4-Way matchup between all of these guys,